All right, chat. Let's get the boring stuff over with early. First and foremost, there is an A-plus coach, Marcel Richard. So we don't have too far to scroll up to a max offer, but it's still going to be done. And then we have to sign some scouts, which is also pretty easy. From there, free agency-wise, I have no idea. I still haven't really made that decision. Especially with RFAs. We made a few plays for RFAs here, mostly unsuccessfully. Like, Jamie Drysdale is out there, and it's like, geez, can we bolster this defense even more? Because at that point, it's certainly not the defense's problem. It wasn't the defense's problem that we lost this postseason either. It was just outright our young goaltending failed us, even though Barneson especially was so good in the regular season. Had he played more games and kept up the same numbers, he would have won the Vezina. He was unplayable in the first. He played 2 games. He was unplayable in the playoffs, and not in a good way. Not in a, oh, he's unplayable. We just can't compete. Like, no, he was unplayable as in like, oh my God, why, how? Why are you an NHLer right now? You were that bad. Okay. We know we have room for one goalie. We know we have room for one goalie at the NHL level. There are some guys here like Hagelin. Iverson is ours. We could go for Kimmo Helminen. We could go for him. Hagelin's there too, who would solely be a pickup for trade value. Are there any UFAs? Herms, what's going on, buddy? I hope you're doing well. There is Stefan Backstrom, who apparently I drafted and did not sign. I must have traded him somewhere, and nobody else signed him because he wasn't there. We will go for this guy instead. Just make sure you saw the deal on Bruins Winter Classic jerseys. I did not. What Winter Classic are we talking? Are we talking the 2010? So I can finally buy that jersey? That'd be cool. If it was this year's Winter Classic jersey, I would rather spend money to not buy one because it's one of the worst jerseys I've ever seen in my life. And it's this year's. Cool. Yeah. Thank you for letting me know. It's absolutely hideous and the worst jersey in the history of the Boston Bruins. I mean it when I say that. Absolutely hideous jersey. So disappointed. It's like, cool, the Bruins get 17,000 outdoor games. And this is one of the jerseys that you gave them. Cool. All right, so we'll go after that UFA goalie. I need to bring in a veteran. Gustafsson has been terrible in the playoffs. Billy Husso as a veteran. It's terrible. Hellebuck in the playoffs has been hit or miss. What about Logan Thompson? Logan Thompson, a career 908 in the playoffs. I didn't want Dostal. There was somebody under Thompson. Brossois has an 882 in the playoffs. Everything's good with the jersey besides the logo. I disagree. It looks like a lazy Walmart knockoff jersey. It is as basic of a like beer league jersey as you could possibly have. Can't stand it. Matt Murray, career 919 in the playoffs. And the last few times Matt Murray's been in the playoffs for Minnesota, I mean, he had the run with Ottawa a few... Oh my God, I'm going to bring back Matt Murray. I am going to bring back Matt Murray to be my playoff ringer in case of emergency. In case of emergency, break glass and bring out Matt Murray. Oh my God. Oh, Matt Murray is going to get an offer. Defensively, RFA is We know a lot of these guys are going to be expensive. I do have to check that max offer without compensation, which is now up to 1825. 1825. Yeah, major, right? Following in the footsteps of Kyle Dubas. We could go for Schustrom, but we already have defenders in that mix. Panay is ours. Could go for Nickel. Nickel. Let's do that, actually. Let's go for one Nickel. And hopefully the Islanders let go of him. Because another right defender would be great. Schultz is ours. We're only looking at medium fours. Booze would be another good one. Another good right defender to add to the mix. So we'll hope to magically end up with one of those guys. Garvin is ours. Korolev's too low of an overall. Okay. Yeah, the rest of these guys down there aren't good enough. Are there any forwards? There's Saugus, but he's way too low of an overall. Any cheaper forwards? Glenny. Gene Glenny, who is ours. Could be in the mix. Could get him back from Winnipeg, perhaps, if they can't afford him. Kieskinen is ours. Rainier Hulse was drafted by us. I wouldn't mind trying to get him back just for the trade value. Because I have a hunch we're going to have a ridiculous trade deadline. And the rest of those guys are too low of overall. And then at center, Pobazal used to be ours. Like Wozniak we could probably get because we could drop down the years. Ekberg. Old Duckberg. Conacher. Can't drop him enough. What about Ekberg? Can't drop him enough either. Wozniak. Could technically drop him down to that max offer without compensation. Will I bring the price of franchise of your choice back to $250? I probably will, actually. Only reason I raised it was temporary because I knew we were going to be on baseball for a while. What about Frondell? We'll make a play for him as well. 1825. Have the ad breaks been turned up? Nope. Ad breaks for me have been set to the same thing for about a year now. Haven't changed. But yeah, Twitch implemented a policy last year, and I'm like, all right, well, this is what they are now. So, Gastrine, there are a lot of RFAs here that we can go for. There's this Lucic guy. He wants a shitload of money. Lume is ours. Inkinen was once ours. He's not very good, though. Callum Ritchie, Benak. Okay. Well, we have, I was going to say, I thought Sundqvist was ours, too. Endo Mills, the gifted sub. What a man. What a man. There's some guys there who aren't that bad. But honestly, would mostly just serve as half-decent AHLers, and I think we have dudes to sign. So UFAs. UFAs. I think Jamie Drysdale might end up being the play. Let me just double check that there's nobody else out there in terms of prospects. There's a 19-year-old low elite option in Lieb. We'll throw our name into the hat for him. And Blomqvist as well. Do we have any medium top sixes or high sixes who are young enough to make an impact? Kamachi, not really. There is Mures, who I think we had before. He's okay, but... All right, in terms of best forwards available, I mean, Barrett Hayton, but he's probably not worth that money. He did have a good season. He could be a really good defensive forward for us. Nick Suzuki wants way too much money based on the point totals. Cutter Gauthier. Typically about a 60-point guy. 60-point guy for $9 million, though. Not great. Tage Thompson wants about $10 million. Fantilli wants a boatload of money. Of course, we know Nyes is up there. We'll come back to that. Defensively, Do we make the play for Jamie Drysdale? He's good. But is he is he that good? Endo again. Thank you for another gift sub. Appreciate you. He knows he'll be making it back in ad revenue soon. What does Drysdale do? Even if we were to offer him like a 1-year mega deal, maybe we see if he drops his price a little bit. I mean, we know Bouchard's going to be on the right. York can play the right. Panayi can play the right. It would move Panayi out of a spot. I can't really afford to do that. So York would have to play the left with Dickinson and then either Carpenter or Hartman. I mean, going after Drysdale is possible. It just means one of my left defenders would be screwed and would have to go. Or that right defender. It is a possibility, though. Let me go back and check forwards as well. Because Michkov might just be staying. Because what the hell are we going to trade him for? Michkov, Salmon, Weeks, Clapperton can come back. Kuba, Perry, Ullman, Kiiskanen can come back. Misa, Cooley, Lume. A better center, honestly, man. Drop Topi Ronnie to a depth role, put Lume as the 4th line center. I have room for another great center. I do have room for another great center. And Barrett Hayton would be the perfect fit for 3rd line, 2-way forward at center. Instead of Suzuki, Thompson, whoever else. I want to look at UFAs only here too. I mean, Suzuki, again, decent point total, but for that money. Tage Thompson still has an unbelievable shot, but 3rd line, would he do the same? If not, put him on the 2nd line, put Cooley on the 3rd line. Fantilli, again, isn't bad, but wants so much fucking money. Philip Hedl had a 70-point season out of nowhere. And then there is Jack Eichel as another veteran. Very, very solid defensively. You got Bourgault, who honestly wasn't that bad this season. I hate that the scroll's still broken. William Eklund, Hurdle as a veteran, Dubois as a veteran. To me, it is either Eichel, Thompson, or Hayton. Only reason to go for Hayton over Eichel is that gold X factor could be better for chemistry. That would be the reason to do it. Eichel's only played in the playoffs once, and he was absolutely abysmal. Barrett Hayton, we know, is very consistent. Very, very consistent. He is not much of a playoff performer, though. And then Tage Thompson is a playoff performer, typically. At least he was in 23-24. There he was a little bit shaky. How did Hayton develop? Isn't he mid? Feel free to look at his analytics from this year. He actually isn't that bad. He's just not, like, oh my God, what do you mean he wasn't taken first? Like, well, he wasn't taken first IRL anyway. He's a very solid player, and he plays in Arizona. RFA-wise, we got to look at our money here. Dickinson wants 7. We'll be okay money-wise. It's a tough call. But 1 year, $8 million for Hayton. Or a super cheap deal. Honestly, super cheap for Jack Eichel might be better. Jack Eichel. Let's see if you want to sign here. Jamie Drysdale. Man, am I tempted. Oh my God, Darnell Nurse had a hell of a year. Am I going to fall for the Darnell Nurse trap? Darnell Nurse was outstanding this past season. Drysdale is definitely better defensively. The fact Nurse still wants that much money is insane. I mean, Drysdale is going to be 11, 12 million. Drysdale, we wouldn't be really planning to sign him long term either. That's the problem. He is younger. 50 points is a career high. Decent playoff performance the last time he was there. Darnell Nurse that season might just be a mirage. It might be. This is how you know I'm desperate, chat. This is how you know. Darnell. Let's see what you think, buddy. Let's see what you think. We got some big offers out there. We got a lot of RFAs in play, which is, ooh, that A-plus coach signed, which is awesome. We got a lot of RFAs in play, which is why I can afford to be aggressive with the open cap that we have. A lot of scouts signing, of course. We'll still have to figure out the coaching staff soon. All right, get the best coaches in. Obviously sent out way too many offers, but it's fine. Mike Lieb, the center, signed. Backstrom signs. Blomqvist, some of the UFAs. Taro Kiiskinen gets offer sheeted by the Sens. I'm going to match that. Matt Murray is back in Toronto. We got a lot of those RFA offers out there. We'll wait to see what happens with them. Rainier Hall stays with Vegas. Darnell Nurse takes the deal. Jack Eichel goes to Pittsburgh. Oh, Jack, you might have screwed me over here, buddy. Oh, you might have screwed me because I went for Darnell Nurse knowing that I didn't go for Barrett Hayton. Jack Eichel just screwed us. Jack Eichel just screwed us. Because Barrett Hayton's gone. Thanks, Jack. Appreciate you, bud. Fucking thank you. Motherfuck. Morgan Riley's off to Washington. Eichel goes to Pittsburgh. Tage Thompson went to Minnesota. Hayton with Anaheim. Fantilli to Tampa. Suzuki's gone. Drysdale went to Winnipeg. Fuck. That's not good. That's not good. Money-wise, we're going to hold. Money-wise, we're going to hold. There might be some other guys to sign there, but I'm going to hold to play it safe. But we do bring in Darnell Nurse. I gotta say, I gotta wait to see what happens with these other RFAs for now. I think we're finally clear. So we do have $15 million in cap space. We do still have to sign Sam Dickinson. At center. It does leave some options, but the point of going after Eichel was that we know he's very, very good defensively. And could use him as a PK specialist. Mika, were you playing in the NHL still? Because Zibanejad might not be the worst option as a veteran. 33 goals for Jared McCann. Honestly, Mika Zibanejad might be our guy. All right, well, it's not quite the style of player I thought I'd be going after. But Mika, I'll give you what you're looking for, buddy, to improve my center depth. Bjorn Schultz takes the qualifying offer. Mika Zibanejad, welcome to Toronto. We do still have RFAs that we have to sort out. So that's pretty much all the money we can spend, including whatever the hell is going on with Barneson and Harenstam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goalies would be signed. Defensively, it's now York, Nurse, Dickinson, Bouchard as the top 4, which, Jesus, if that's not good enough to win. I mean, if this team can't win, man. Okay, I honestly would have preferred Eichel over Zibanejad just for the defensive aspect of it, but it is what it is. Mika Lume takes his qualifying offer, so does Garvin as an RFA. Panai's back. Dickinson takes the qualifying offer. Derek Weeks. Iverson gets offer sheeted. We're going to match that, even though he's an AHLer. Carson Barneson's still out there. Harenstam gets offer sheeted by Detroit. We'll match it. And Barneson will make it all the way to training camp. This might be the last hurrah for a lot of these guys. We have $6 million left to sign Carson Barneson. He's got 1 RFA year left at the end of this deal. Let me see if I can 85% trick this, because we are right up against the cap now. I knew we'd have the money. I didn't think Barneson would want that much. Even if we go 5.5, that'll give me some maneuverability. But yeah, if this doesn't work, we're about to start running into a whole lot of money trouble. Barneson rejected. Jesus Christ. You gotta be kidding me, kid. You're lucky I even brought you back. Well, his offer dropped down to 5 point. I offered you 5.5, and now you dropped the offer to 5.1. Are you okay? Is that playoff loss affecting you that badly? Yeah, cool. I'll sign you for less than what I offered you. Great. Goaltending wise, I mean, Murray's here for the year. Barneson and Iverson still have an RFA year left, so that's fine. Darnell Nurse is here for the year. Dickinson's still okay. Oh, actually, we might be all right. We might be okay. We actually don't have too many guys that are UFAs like Michkov. Yeah, negotiating skills like his playoff history. Logan Cooley is the big one. Logan Cooley is the big one. He does want to re-sign. And to be honest, I will try to re-sign him for a potential future sign and trade in case we decide he is not him. It would be 865 on the contract. It would be 865 on the contract. So let's see. Let's see if we can get Cooley signed to that extension. And yes, we can. All right. So at least we don't have that hanging over our heads. We can decide what to do with him at the draft. Still get good value. So our goalies this season at the NHL level: Barneson, Harenstam, and then Matt Murray's there if needed, particularly in the playoffs, which is a scary proposition. York, Nurse, Dickinson, Bouchard, Carpenter, and Panay. Now, obviously, it sucks Morgan Riley's not here. Obviously, in terms of unsigned players, we have Hartman, who is NHL level. But we signed Darnell Nurse instead. And I think we'll try that out and just let Hartman tear up the WHL for one more season. You could argue that might stunt his development a little bit, but it is what's best for us, is to run with Darnell Nurse for this season. We'll see if there are any other guys to sign in a minute. Michkov, Salmon, and Weeks, Clapperton, still the setup there. Kuba, Perry, Ullman, Kiiskinen. Ullman might be better than Perry at this point. Misa, Cooley, Zibanejad, Lume, Topi Roni here as the depth. So the NHL team this season. Let's go best lines. Let's Go best Lions. Misa on the top line. Cooley on the second. Zibanejad, Lume. Lume did jump to third line forward, which kind of sucks. I mean, technically, I could play Mika on the fourth line, because who cares? Lume is the one player with no X factors, yeah. Michkov isn't going to get any better. Salmonen. Could go Michkov, Salmonen, Weeks, Clapperton. Kieskinen on the fourth line. Kuba's on the top line. Perry and Ullman. We're probably going to go with Ullman, which means it might be worth trading Perry because he's not going to develop as well playing in a lower role. We'll give him power play time to try to offset it. This team is insane. This team is gross. And again, we'll see if we have a coach that is a great fit for it. That third pair isn't amazing. But I mean, Dickinson, York, Nurse, Bouchard, LOL Oilers, Carpenter, Panayi, and then Barneson and Harenstam in goal. You got Murray, Topi Ronnie. Need a depth defender, but that's easy enough. I'm sure we have someone within the system who's a little bit older. I mean, Schultz is 22, Fox is 20, Garvin's 22. Actually, we have a pretty young crowd there. I might need to sign a veteran. $2 million in cap space. I mean, this team is insane. This team is insane. This team is gross. It's just whether or not we can eventually win. That's it. That's all it comes down to. We'll bring Jake McCabe back to Toronto after all this time to be my depth defender. And let me double check. In terms of defense, unsigned. Again, I'd love to sign Hartman, but we have to try the Darnell Nurse experiment for one season. Junior player, junior player, junior player, junior player. Steven Brashear can be brought on. That's about it there. On the wing, Joel Holt can be brought over to play in the AHL. Junior Bannock can be brought over. Hensick we can leave. Pritchett can be brought over. Play with the Marlies. Swolmanen can be brought on. And then that is it. So we'll be up to about 46 contracts once McCabe signs. NHL team should be awesome. There is McCabe. AHL team, very good, young, talented players there. It's just we don't know. My one hang-up is, should I move Carpenter out? Okay, so we actually do have an issue. I didn't notice the Carpenter was top 4. And I want him to continue to develop. So it's probably Dickinson, Carpenter, Nurse, who does not work out well with Panayi at all. But that is probably what we're running. Otherwise, Carpenter at least has to have power play time to offset being in a lower position from where he should be for the sake of his development. I'm not really worried about the -3. To be honest, we met at a Coheed concert once. Did we? Because I've never been to a Coheed concert, boy. So you're wrong. Yeah, anyway. AHL-wise, Holy Wade Redden type deal on the third line. I mean, it's worth it, though. We have the money. Spend it, you know? We have the money. Spend it. Defensively, we are good in terms of, like, hey, it's our prospects. Sweet. There's really not that much optimization to do. We do have the low elites. Of Hicketts and Lahtinen. Which is interesting. Got to take us from Alexander. Not from Alexander. Fun fact. Nor do I live there. Fun fact. Bjorn Schultz. At a low elite. Probably get Lahtinen. Lahtinen at a 68. These two guys are a little bit higher up there. Which is all right. I think we can leave this team as it is, right? We might be able to get slightly better chemistry. Nah, let the guy be weird. It's cool. He thinks he knows, but he doesn't know. Let him be weird. I like weird people. Weird people are fun. Shout out to Alexander Maine, though. There's absolutely nothing there. There is absolutely nothing there. You can't even qualify it as a town. It's just there. There's a lot of places in Maine like that, in fairness. There is a route called Route 9 in Maine that essentially goes from Bangor to the eastern Canadian border. There is fucking nothing on that road. There are legitimately townships, and it's like, welcome to this township. Oh, you're already in a new township. That fast. I'm talking road sign. Road sign. It's fucking weird. I live in a weird state. Do we have anybody to take out? I mean, Swominen's not bad. Danny, I think we're good. I mean, we got a couple of guys that we could take out, but it's kind of nice to have them as healthy scratches. I think for the most part, we're good. Right? I mean, aside from having, I mean, if we wanted Yaskalam, I don't care. Let's get Holt in there. Buffalo, take it easy, buddy. Let's get Holt in there. I'm not too worried about Swolminen or Denis. Even though Denis is not that bad. I mean, Pritchett, Bannock, Bjugstad, Makula. Honestly, it's not that bad. Xandroff, we know, is a medium elite. I think Terrence Howard lives in Maine, man. Boo. Boo. Altex. Boo. It's terrible. Terrible. Ooh, Ackerman. Are you ours? You are. He's another medium 9. Oh, good. There's a low bottom 6 in there. Never mind. Cool. Let's get Swominen back in there. Lieb is ours. Ackerman can stay. Cool beans. Your action's funnier than the joke. Is it, though? Why do I always stream so late? Because I always stay up late. It's when I'm awake. What do you want from me? All right, there we go. Teams are set up for next season. We have 4th liner Mika Zibanejad and 3rd pair defenseman Darnell Nurse, unless I change my mind and sign that young prospect, which I might. I don't know. I don't feel good about having that guy unsigned. I really don't. Damn, man. I really, really don't feel good about having that guy unsigned.